Okay.
Oh, all right. Welcome to another Futures Initiative trading recap. Today we got my man Girthquake and Myron here going over our trades of the day, our analysis of what brought us here today, current events, economic news, and how we plan to make money today and how we made money today and our plans for tomorrow. But I'll go ahead and turn it over to Girthquake and let him walk everyone through his strategy, his style. So let's get to it. The floor is yours, my man.
All right. Beautiful introduction there. Okay. Well, starting from the tippity top, last night, Sunday, futures opened. Um, pretty sizable gap down here from the news over the weekend. Israel, Palestine war. Obviously not good. So we got this gap down. I was watching it, and I was speaking with Quan too. We were chatting on a Discord, and so I went ahead. I was watching it. I had a good feeling we get um, a little more downside here. So I like to use the EMA clouds, and so I waited. We got a nice little pop, and this is the 5 minute EMA. And we got a nice little pop, and then we got all these tails here. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a short. So I got in short somewhere around here, and I was targeting this yellow line here, bit of a pressure level here, and unfortunately we didn't quite get there. Um, I ended up selling. I don't have the marks on my screen anymore. Um, Ended up selling somewhere around here. Um, and then it was a decent little win. The reason I sold is because um, we put in this little tail, and if you zoom in, where we at here? Zoom in on a smaller 2 minute time frame. This little level right here, this is a bit of a level. And just watching the price action, it just didn't seem like we were getting there. I was talking to Quant, and looked like we were forming a little A, B, C possibly. So as I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to push down just yet. So I ended up selling here. That was the main trade, and then ended up taking a couple little scalps here, but honestly, didn't make anything off of it. We got the push. I'd set my stop at break even, just kept getting stopped out. So that was a little Sunday night trade. Nothing to write home about. But this morning is where we got a nice win over here on ES. So as you see, all night we were kind of range bound here. This yellow line was my little level of focus here. I was bullish above, wanted to see a break and hold above this level. And right here is where I started to really get interested. As you see, I call this a little counter parallel. Um, I know Quan knows a lot about this. It's a trend continuation pattern. So I've seen this, and how I like to play these are I let it form, and then I want to see a nice higher low get formed. And that kind of tells me like, okay, we might be ready to push now. So we did get this little higher low. I didn't enter here, but after I seen this big green candle here, and I also noticed a volume that came in here a lot higher than anything else we've gotten. And so after we got that green candle, I was in entry mode, looking for an entry. Over here on the 10 minute, you can see it popped us up above the 10. basically we're above all the EMAs. If I go to the 1 hour, I really like to use the hourly EMA cloud as like kind of like a bias. If we're above it, I'm usually bullish, trying to buy dips. If we're below it, usually neutral or bearish, depending on the situation. Um, but yeah, so we got that pop, went to entry mode, and I wanted to pull back into this yellow level here. And we also had our 5 minute EMA cloud coming up. So once we pulled back into the EMA cloud, and we had this one little tail here, which, that's nice to see. But, and then we got this green candle here. I ended up buying right off of it, right off the EMA cloud. And I have my stops underneath this yellow level. Somewhere down here, you got to give it a little bit of room. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history, really. Bounced off the EMA cloud, held it, started pushing up, held it, and then I was targeting this red line here. So if we go over a bit of a consolidation area here. So that was my target. Ended up selling right. Let me see if I can get it. Ended up selling right here at the top of this screen candle. And yeah, overall, it was a great trade. I was very happy with it. Um, and that was it for me. I was done for the day. I trade part-time. I work as well. So after that trade, I'm like, yep, solid win, and then I just focused on work. Didn't really pull up the charts anymore. And then, of course, obviously, we got the huge afternoon pump, but I wasn't involved in that. Not upset about it. I made good money, made a great trade, and yeah, yeah, I'm actually proud too, because that's one thing I've been working on. You make your money, you make a good trade. I don't want to give that back. You know what I'm saying? So overall, happy, very happy with the day, happy with the execution, and yeah, that's about it for me.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. You know what? That is fantastic. You stuck to your strategy. You limited your time trading, which I'm starting to notice is burning a lot of people. It burns a
Yeah,
lot of
no, it
people.
does, man. It burns me a lot too. When if I do it, I've
Yeah,
been burned a lot in the past by it.
man, I've burned accounts by it, and
Yeah, because
I'm
then
not
like
ashamed to.
once once you hit that trade, and you're up good, you're up good amount on the day, and then you give all of it back, or you give majority of it back or something, then like that messes with your mental. And for me, it kind of like makes me go on tilt a little bit, like, oh man, just lost, my gains. I got to get it back. And that
Yep.
just slippery slope. You start making poor decisions.
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. I've done that far too many times for me to
Yeah,
be okay with it.
yeah.
And it's come to the point where, like you said today, we both made some good money. It was time to walk away. It was time to
Hmm.
walk. And we walked. And that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Now,
especially today, because like I came in today with a slight bullish bias. But I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting anything crazy. So
I was definitely not expecting this given the recent events, but
exactly.
that's okay. You know what? I'm glad we got this little bullish run.
Hmm.
Um, I think we might erase it. Unfortunately, I think that this might get erased. Um, but let's go ahead and see what happens because on a larger time frame, we are approaching equilibrium, and so based on that, we could see a major rejection here from equilibrium with where price is saying absolutely not doing this, no way. I want no part of this. Or we can see retracement and use the fibs and fib levels as our confirmation for more upside. So it'll be
Yeah.
very interesting to see what price gives us.
Yeah. This is also something I was watching. Um, Kind of like a bit of a market maker cycle here, possibly.
Like an ABC retracement.
We kind of had our little trending parallel.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be a spring, max pain down here. Um, a bit of recovery flag, if that's what you want to call it. It's pretty ugly. But if this is a spring, I'm thinking we might chop here. I mean, this right here, this little pivot, I think this is a level we gotta watch.
What
If we
about
break if we break this,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a clear shot up to 4403, 4405 area on ES,
Sure.
I believe.
Now, wouldn't so based on the spring and max pain idea, um, let me try and share something about that real quick because I believe so. Let me go ahead and take this, reduce that down. So, no, we spoke about the spring and max pain, right? Here, I'm gonna go to another chart. Also, I did notice you were using NQ1,
Oh, yeah.
and I was curious as to, is that something you normally do, or
What do you use?
so? I use the month contract or like the actual contract. So NQZ is a December contract.
Oh,
So you'll
yeah.
you'll
I
notice
don't,
slight differences in the
is
price
there a
action.
slight difference there? Yeah,
Mhm.
I was totally unaware about that. 15, 12.
But there are just slight differences just because this is an aggregated one, but it's not bad to use at all. I
What's the
use it.
difference in like price?
So NQZ will only go back so far.
Oh, yeah.
NQ1 or the other one will go back till time, like till the beginning of time.
Yeah. Yep. So you use the, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always used the NQ1.
Oh man, it's all good. So I was wondering, we spoke about the spring and the max pain.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious to see, would this be the spring? And up here,
Oh, do you want me to stop sharing my screen?
oh, it's all good. And up here is now max pain because, and the reason I say that, we didn't break the lows, but we've taken out all the highs up here now, but we haven't taken out this nice order block up here. So my question is, we're about halfway there. People who gotten up here are getting worried. So would this present a nice scenario for the max pain because we have that V-shaped correction? No,
Mm-hmm.
where we or this could be the spring. Come down, failure to break lows. Now we get the max pain. Everybody went long here, got messed up here, and is now experiencing the oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think a clear sign to see if um what I have here is the market maker cycle is if we kind of just chop, up here in this area. If we
Right.
chop then I think we're going higher.
Agreed. No, I completely agree.
But it's also hard because we got all this news and who knows what's gonna come out that might affect the markets with all this stuff going on. So,
I completely agree. I was looking at this, top to bottom. We're pretty much right at equilibrium.
right.
Like I know that we are what 60, 70 bars above it. That's fine. But this is a place where we would either reject or rocket past. So very interesting. But that was a fantastic summary and explanation of your trades. I completely agree with the counter trend parallel, and
Yeah, yeah,
it works.
that was a great
It,
setup this morning.
oh, it was a beautiful setup. I believe you and I actually took a very similar setup.
Yeah, I was what did you end up taking that? Because I mean I was kind of busy at work, so I wasn't too active with the in
Oh
the
man, it's all
chat.
good.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about it the other night, and we're like, "Yeah, man, I'm in longs here. I'm in longs here. What
Yeah.
are these wicks doing?"
Yeah, that Sunday session. Yeah, man. 'Cause
Right here.
I don't usually trade that session. And man, I was like, now I see why I don't trade.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
chop up, down, up, down. You get a little pump, just straight back down. It's like, man.
Oh yeah. The paint drying session, as I like to call it.
Right.
So let's see. Oh man, that's perfect. Came right down to the tick on the fair value gap.
All right, here, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing.
Oh, no worries. So if you look right over here and see that,
Oh yeah.
I
five
mean,
minute time frame.
we're talking like two ticks, two, three ticks past.
Yeah, that was spot on. Let me pull up because I also had that same level marked out. Yeah, that was a little flat top, little
Yeah,
old flat top resistance I had marked out. Same level though.
absolutely. So we have a 4 hour fair value gap. We have a daily fair value gap, another daily fair value gap, 4 hour, and then all the way down here we have the weekly. So let's start diving into this on the 5 minute time frame. So this is Friday coming into Sunday, large drop. We have the news. I wanted to see this get retraced, but what I really did not want to see was all this get taken. So I was looking for the upside. I actually took calls and options before I started taking plays in futures, and it did well. Of course, it was good to see that. We had a couple large plays right off the bat, right off the freaking bat. But this, I actually took a few calls. Took one here, sold. Took another one here, averaged in, and let it run. Now I cut the play off as soon as we broke the highs, but I was like, okay, I didn't know it was going to do all this. But yeah, we took a trade around here, straight to the upside, and I believe it was this that you and I caught because we were done trading before 10 a.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I got out just before 10.
Yeah, I actually took a couple more trades. I took one up, took another one to the downside, and ended up with 1,700 on the day for one of the accounts and about 750 on the other account. So I was very happy with the trades and the price action today. Now, right here, this candle right here is very important to me. Very important. This is the liquidation I was looking for. And I started to notice whenever we see that liquidation in the morning, it's gonna come on one side or the other. It always does. And I started to notice it even on Friday. So if you look back here, we actually saw it right before market open. See that liquidation? And then again, market open, liquidation runs. You see this up here? This initially made me bearish, but I saw this huge space. I'm like, okay, now we got room. But this liquidation that we saw up here just confirmed the bullishness for me.
Yeah.
And that is what really set it off. And then we came down here to consequent encroachment, or 50% of the wick of our liquidation. Again, further confirmation to go to the upside. We also took out the buy side up here, which was beautiful. Then we continued on. We did have, although I wanted to drop this large, liquidity void, I wanted to keep my fair value gaps intact because what we ended up doing was playing around in between the space between a daily fair value gap and a 4-hour fair value gap. Those have always stood out to me to be very magnetic with price. So I've always kept a close eye on those. One thing I was very proud of today was holding a play. Now, don't get me wrong, I had to look away and focus on my work. So I would not close out my position early because I knew I would have. I swear I would have. And I took a position here, got in around here to the downside, because if I took that to the upside, I would not have an account. But my stop was above the top wick. But I held and I held. I did not take it all the way down. I wanted to take it halfway. But why halfway? Because for me, that would have just made it that much better. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So it shows. So it would have really shown me and proved to me that I could hold it, that I'm learning, I'm improving, not always stuck in the way of I'm just gonna scalp, although very profitable that way. It's not
Yeah.
sustainable. Okay. That to me was like, okay, we need something more. And win or lose, I was going to hold this trade to my target. And it's exactly what I did. Held it. I was 2 minis deep. And we took that about 41 bars. So that 164 ticks, about $1,600.
Yeah, that's a great trade.
And then I proceeded to say, fantastic, awesome, I'm done. I am done with that account. And I shut that account off. I actually closed my so to hedge against me over trading that account, I have it on a separate platform than all my other accounts. Because I know myself. If I have it on NinjaTrader, I will trade that thing like a simulation account. So I closed it. So I traded with that one on Quant Tower, and I closed it out. I said, okay, we are done. That's it. It's over. Then I traded my take profit account. This one, I actually, it's funny. I took a trade to the upside here. I saw this rebalance. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to make it all the way up, but I went 5 minis deep.
Okay.
For those at home, that's not advised at all. But had a very, very, very tight stop loss. I had like a 5 bar stop loss because 5 minis is a lot to lose 5 bars. That's $500.
Yeah, you gotta be quick on the trigger with that size.
Yeah, but I took it up for not even 15 bars. This was truly a scalp. Yeah, I took it up for actually just over. No, took it for like 8 bars. Yeah, took it for 8 bars. I was cool with it. I didn't get to close out on it, but because it retraced on me a little bit. But as soon as I saw 800, I closed the position. I didn't care where I was at. I closed it, shut that account off.
Mm-hmm.
Said, look, I'm done for the day with this. $700 is fantastic, and I'll take it. And I was done. I didn't mind trading options for the rest of the day. I was like, I'm done. I mean, would it have been nice to know that this would come to where my initial target was? Yes, which was I like playing the consequent encroachment or the halfway point of these wicks because they just work so well.
Oh
I
wow.
mean,
Yeah, that's almost right to the tick.
so even if you take this one down here, comes very close. We're talking like a bar and a half. So for value gaps, consequent encroachment, a lot of those are things I really enjoy playing because simple, it's very easy, and it's easy to see. Like if we take this wick right here, if you want like a quick scalp, yeah, I mean it ran above what about 2 bars, and then you could have caught like a 30 bar drop or even more, 40, 50 bars. But no, with all that being said, it's very good to have that in place. So it was great to see. For tomorrow, I am bearish given the war. I was expecting the market to really feel it. I don't think we're really going to feel till later this week when more things develop. But some things I wish I did better with. I wish I held some trades longer. I wish I did not overtrade on some other accounts. I did burn a couple evaluation accounts. I'm not proud of that, but you know, I had profit, I lost it, and it put me on tilt.
Mm.
And I need to start treating them as though they are funded accounts and not just throwaway accounts. That's something that I'll be taking care of. That's something that no, I really want to improve upon. Today happened to be a very good day. There were a lot less mistakes that I saw in my trading than most. Um, normally I get a little trigger happy. Today I was happy to say I did not. I had the opportunity to, but I still chose to sit on the sidelines. So I'm gonna open up the floor for any questions, comments, concerns. Let's lay it out there. What do y'all got?
Great trading day, great earns. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, man.
Fantastic, fantastic. Girthquake, any questions, comments, concerns, and anything you would like to bring up?
Um, I'm just gonna say going in tomorrow. Um, I think I might have said this earlier. I know you're bearish. Uh, I'm expecting a bit of a chop, so I'm just gonna take it slow tomorrow. Might just take a couple base hits, depending on what we get. Less tomorrow. Today, overall, great trading from both of us. Um, we recognize what we're doing wrong, and putting that out there, and I think that's what you got to do. That's how you improve. And let's go in tomorrow and let's kill it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? That's very well said. It's hard sometimes to really talk about, what we did wrong in our trading and what we could do better, and then knowing what we should be doing and implementing it. That seems to be a very difficult part, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's a difficult part of anything because you're so used to doing things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Very
to be
difficult.
training yourself on everything you ever knew to come back
Yeah.
and reprogram your thoughts, words, and actions from a fundamental standpoint to ensure you're not making the same mistakes again.
Yeah, for me, I learned it through a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And then eventually, wasn't too long ago, I'm just like, okay, something's gotta change. I'm doing almost, the same mistakes and it just keeps costing me and costing me. So, for me, I learned it through a lot of pain, because it's hard to learn. It's hard to break those habits, I guess, if you want to call them. But if you lay it out there, you recognize what you do wrong, that's the first step, and then you go in tomorrow and you keep that in your head and you just work intensely to not make those same mistakes or learn from your past mistakes.
Agreed. Some of the greatest traders I've ever met have learned through pain. And I wholeheartedly believe what makes them such great traders is they never lose that feeling of the pain that they felt and the hurt and the depression and everything that came with it. Because when you have to face your actions over and over again and saying, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing this to myself
Mm-hmm.
and I could have stopped this. Why did I not stop it? Well, you didn't learn enough. Then it goes into a deeper conversation. I was actually listening to a motivational speaker, and he was saying, I believe people change in in 4 seasons when they when they've seen enough, heard enough, done enough, or hurt enough.
Yeah, no, that's
And
great. I agree 100%.
and sometimes it takes us to hurt enough
Yeah,
that we will never do those things again because it will never forget that.
totally agree.
So, it not to stand on a soapbox or anything, but it's great that we're able to recognize what we're doing wrong now and continue to improve upon it. In every video we do, we're constantly improving every single one. So I'll leave the floor open for any additional comments. And if not, we will call it a day and we'll see everyone back here tomorrow. So, any last minute comments?
I love whoever's watching this. Stay safe. It's a crazy world we live in. And yeah.
Love it. Yeah, no, I'm all set.
Awesome. Well, until next time, everyone, we want to see the comments, your questions, concerns, anything you guys say. And we're always looking for others to have on our trading recaps. It's always great to get new perspectives, see additional strategies. You know, there is no one magic bullet and no magic way to do this. You have to trade by what makes sense to you. And with that being said, we will catch everybody later.